Good morning, family. Welcome to the Afro Latina Show. I am your host, Alicia Anabel Santos, La Diosa Dominicana, La Santera. Welcome to episode 145, Healing the Mother Wound. I usually record real time, live, no edits, no filters. I don't cut, I don't paste. Most days I do not script. Sometimes I journal and write some things down that I want to share. But today, in honor of the International Day de la Mujer, I'm honoring my mother. And one of the things that I've been thinking about for many years, but in particular the last few weeks and in conversation with my daughter, is the intergenerational trauma that that has been passed on throughout the generations, right? And so when we look at the generations of women in our family, and I'm thinking about all of the matriarchs, right? So my daughter would be one of the newest. Then was me, my mother, her mother, my great-grandmother, my great-great-grandmother, and onward. There are some wounds that have been passed down. And it's interesting because when we talk about certain issues, and I'm thinking immediately about, the Black experience, the African-American history around the enslaved period, and how some folks would say, why don't you get over that? That happened like 100 years ago. What people don't understand is that even if we're not the people lashed, we're not the people hung, we weren't the people who were experiencing what it was like to be ripped and stripped from their lands, from my motherland, Africa, and brought to the Dominican Republic and all of the countries respectively. We carry that trauma. And so I'm thinking today about my mother in particular and what traumas she could be carrying. And I'm saying could be because we have never really spoken about all of the trauma that she carries, but that is something that I'm incredibly interested in. And what I realized is that I was born to save my mother, and my daughter was born to save me. And the fact that I'm a writer is no coincidence. There's so much that I'm called to explore as a writer, these issues around mother-daughter relationships and healing and our wounds and trauma. And so today, in honor of my mother, I'm thinking about what that looks like and meditating on how I can better serve my mother, who is now in her 70s, who is aging, who has had a life lived, and there are so many things that I want to get to know about her while healing my own wounds, right? Because I think that we're living in some interesting times, because in all of this self-care, I'm in my late 40s, a few years shy away from 50, and my daughter's in her 20s, and one of my sisters is in her 40s, and my younger sister's still in her 30s. We have a beautiful and sort of what's the word I'm looking for? I'm thinking about arrogance. I'm thinking about the fact that we are so arrogant that we can have all this self-care, all this help, all these resources and access to things, when our parents, my mother and her mother, they just did it. There was no therapy for them. There was no counsel for them. They did what they had to do to provide for all of the children, and just carry the trauma and carry the trauma and carry the trauma and kept it moving. And so in honor of all of the women in my ancestral line, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for being born. I want to say thank you for being my DNA, for being role models and examples of what a strong woman, a strong Dominican woman looks like. And today, I just want to meditate on healing I don't have any tangible techniques yet, but I wanted to acknowledge that there is some healing that has to happen with our mothers. And I will say that there are things that I have in the works, and there are ideas that I have around that, that I will be announcing, that I will be sharing once I flush it out. So with that, let's meditate. I want you to close your eyes and take some deep breaths. This is a hard meditation. For as short as I have made it, this is a conversation that deserves so much love and respect and time. But today I wanted to introduce it. Who knows, maybe tomorrow I'll speak more at length about it. But let's breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Think about the people who have been mother figures to you. May not necessarily be a biological mother. It could be a foster mother. It could be an adopted parent. It could be an aunt, a grandparent. It could be a complete stranger. Mothers come in all shapes and sizes. They're not necessarily blood. Who are the women who have been like a mother to you, or that you've wished was your mother? If you've wished someone was your mother, that someone took you home with them, I want you to journal about why that is. What is it about the one you had or have that you dislike, that damaged you, that inflicted pain? And why does the grass look greener with this other mother? What is it about this person that they possess? What do they give you? What do they provide? How do they walk in the world? Take your time. Take your time. Glasses are broken, y'all. Keep feeling that. And when you're ready, come out of meditation. In AA meetings, or when an addict is on the journey of recovery, one of the first steps is admitting that you have a problem, right? And so today I'm admitting that there are still wounds that require healing, but I am committed to my recovery, my daughter's recovery, my mother's recovery, my grandmother's recovery, my great, 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 great grandmother's recovery, and all of the women who require and desperately need healing and love. So with that, my loves, that is my show for today. That is my diary. My intention for today is to guide a group of women who have cancer through some healing, writing prompts, and self-love activities. So today is a day of healing and love. Peace.